My 37/F mother, 68/F, wants the stuff back that she left at my house 7 years ago. So I bought my house 7 years ago, and shortly after my mother sold her house and downsized to an apartment. She then left tons and tons of boxes in my basement, explaining that they were family heirlooms or just things she wanted me to have. I really didn't want this stuff, but figured it was kinda to just not fight her, and I'd have to go through it all when she dies someday anyways, so it's better to just do it now. I'm now looking at selling my house in the spring and have to tackle these boxes. I've done some posts about it on the decluttering subreddit. My mom has an apparently hard time letting go of these things, and these are far from family heirlooms. Just loads and loads of junk and weird crap. For example, broken ceramics, many broken things, photographs that are overexposed and just an orange blob, and guest books from funerals of people I'm not sure how I'm even related to them. So I've been going through and throwing things away. I didn't tell her I was going to do this, assuming she would never ask for this stuff again, and I could always say, oh, it's in the basement, but I don't know which box, and just blow her off. I also figured she had no idea what was in these boxes. For instance, one box was just diet books from the 1980s and old road maps. Here's where I messed up. I called my sister, also 37/F, and vented to her about the boxes my mum left. I also told her I was throwing stuff out and cleared it with her first. She was like, definitely get rid of this shit. I've thrown away all the stuff she left me. I threw away my mom's high school yearbooks. She had 4 of them, and figured she could go on the classmates website if she ever wanted to look at them again. I had thrown out my own HS yearbook long ago because, quite frankly, HS is not something I want to remember. I did not tell my mom I was going to throw this stuff out because I knew she would have a fit about it and guilt trip me and be overall disappointed in me. I'm pretty sure my sister told my mom about it because now my mother is emailing me asking for the yearbooks and a few other things. I have the other stuff but not the yearbooks. I tried to blow her off, but she is being insistent. We've had a difficult relationship in the past and have in the past gone 2 years without contact. I have been distant from both her and my sister lately and find that minimal contact with them really helps with my daily stress levels. Part of me worries that her asking for this stuff back is like she is breaking up with me. There's also a lot of hurt feelings, like she values these things more than her relationship with me, as in it's easier to just take them back than work on being a nicer parent to me. I also don't know how to respond in a way that won't torpedo our thin ice relationship. Too long didn't read. I threw away some stuff mom left at my house and now she's asking for it back. Not sure how to respond to her in a way where she won't lose her shit. I was with you when you said you were throwing out mostly broken stuff, but high school yearbooks don't seem like junk to me. I agree that she maybe had little claim to the stuff at this point given the amount of time is sat there, but I personally would be pretty sad if someone threw away my high school yearbooks. Yeah, that's just wrong. Makes me second guess what other things she tossed that had sentimental value. In the start it sounds like it was just junk and it was mock sentimental heirlooms. But yearbooks? What? That's just mean-spirited. You know that book that all your friends when you were young signed, and it has all the photos of all your lost friends? You remember them? She died in car accident. My friend over here is living in Phoenix. I used to date him. Oh, they were so sweet. Yeah, I threw them away. Yeah, there were fun notes and happy well wishes, but she can Google a classmate's website or something. I mean, nobody should be expected to hang on to a large number of boxes of junk, but you know, that's just cold. And it's not like Poster grew up living in the digital age and didn't understand. She's 37. If you didn't want this stuff, you should have given it back to her, not just randomly started throwing it away. If she's difficult and you weren't in contact with her, you could have given her a warning, e.g. collect it in 14 days or I will throw away, and then start. You say it was all junk, but stuff like high school yearbooks and funeral books are not junk. You may not care to keep yours, but that doesn't mean everyone doesn't. Regardless of the contents of the boxes, you gave an undertaking to store them for her. You can end that agreement at any time, but that does not give you the right to throw away her possessions. I'm not sure what's in the basement. If you want it, come get it by date, or I'm throwing all of it out. Do you still have many of the boxes? So you can give her all of those back. Odds are she won't unpack them. You could even say you don't know what's left, as a few boxes of paper got wet / had mice / something. Usually I advocate telling truth to everyone, but she left these at your house for 7 years with no plans to ever get them and told you they were for you. Once you give someone junk and say it's a heirloom, you no longer have a say in what happens to it, but she won't see it that way. I've whittled it all down to 3 to 4 large boxes. We started with probably 12. I'm thinking she won't remember how many we started with, and 4 large boxes will seem like a lot to her. I just sent her this email: when you left all that stuff at my house I thought you were giving it to me. What I'm going to do is set it all aside and return it to you before I move. I think that's the best option for bringing the matter to a happy close. I think you went about this the wrong way. Instead of sneakily going through it and throwing stuff away that you thought was garbage in the hopes that she wouldn't want it again, you should have told her she has until X date to collect her belongings, otherwise it's all being hauled to the dump. Yes, she had 7 years, but it doesn't sound like you talked to her about going through or getting rid of this stuff at all. At this point, all you can do is be honest and accept the fallout. In the future, don't agree to store things for people, and if you do, don't get rid of it without informing them. I'm 25F, terrified this guy, 23 meters, likes me but will figure out who I am and feel cheated. This guy, 23 meters, that's part of an online group, out of the blue admitted he has strong feelings for me. I, 25F, was shocked and confused, but it seems like he really means it. I told him I do not know him enough and could we get to know each other first, as he's known me for about a month. Relationships and dating terrify me. I want to find love, but honestly I had a panic attack when he told me. I've talked to him more and more and I'm realizing I'm liking him back, but I'm still so scared. His feelings seem pretty strong. He says I'm gorgeous. He compliments by telling me how courageous and clever I am, how I should be so proud of myself, and he's proud of me. This is all. I just don't believe he's talking about me. That he's made this fantasy version of me in his head. If we did ever get together he discovers I'm not all those things. How angry is he going to be? With my ex, I feel like a bait and switched him. He fell in love with this amazing girl and I just wasn't her. I was never good enough anymore. I never made him happy. He'd get angry and violent and I was just desperate to be the person he wanted, but I was so defeated, I hit a severe depression. I've tried to be upfront about everything with this guy, how I have severe anxiety, I have depression episodes. I'm not this person he thinks I am. I try so hard to be a good person. I try to be kind and courageous, optimistic, but it doesn't feel like me. I'm struggling to handle how kind he is to me and how quickly he's so kind. He doesn't know me. I'm very active in the group because I run it, but I don't know. Thank you for reading in advance. Too long didn't read. Guy I've known for a month opens up and tells me he has a massive crush on me. I don't think he even knows me and is in for a world of hurt when he realizes I'm not this gorgeous, courageous woman. Maybe you are that person he sees with his own eyes, courageous, but today I fucked up, desirable. Inside looking out, you don't see that. But you are what you do. He and others can see that plainly. What are you doing to take care of your mental health? Self-help books, writing letters to myself, crochet. Getting a therapist isn't really an option for me right now. I've been through a lot of the same mental health struggles that you've described, but I'm not going to try and relate to what you're going through. What I'm about to say comes from my experiences and it may not work for you, but here's my advice. Oftentimes when people go through trauma or a hard time, we build up walls to prevent anyone from coming in. And if I'm reading this right, it seems like you've locked yourself behind these walls. I've done the exact same thing. When I started dating my girlfriend, it took me so long, so let the walls down and let her see me for who I actually am. I could never understand or believe her when she complimented me because all I've ever known are my own thoughts about myself. but sometimes other people see things in us that we ourselves can't even see. Please listen when I say that people are not afraid of people who have anxiety or depression or any mental health conditions. The reality of the situation is that they just don't know how to handle them or what to do. This guy sees this girl that he is falling for, and though he may not know the whole story, that won't scare him away. I know this probably sounds scary, letting your guard down or him seeing the whole you probably freaks you out, but try to think of it this way. Love can fix things that we ourselves don't even think are fixable. The cost of that is letting someone see the raw you, the person you really are, and that's scary. But wouldn't you rather face that fear and try than not ever experience the love that he has for you? Too long didn't read. Love is scary, and letting someone see the real you after you've been through trauma is scary as shit. But trying and opening up for something or someone that might change your life is often more beneficial than locking yourself away for your life. You aren't wrong, but you are also probably selling yourself short. His imagined version of you isn't going to match with reality, but consider that your imagined version of yourself doesn't match your own reality either. Sorry if that makes no sense. Either way, it doesn't matter. You hang out, you go on a date, if you want, and you talk about each other. Shoot down his imagined version of you and bring him back to reality. You know, in a nice way. Likely he's in a dreamy state and will accept you for you because he's smitten. If not, nothing lost. Of course, this all depends on your gut and intuition. Don't feel compelled to do anything. The way you are talking, the anxiety is clear. Depression is heavily hinted. You may be more than you let yourself believe. With depression, I would bury myself in self-loathing, hatred, and the belief that I would never be loved by anyone. Depression is a liar. People can still be attracted to others with anxiety issues. I know depression can make it tough to connect with others or function socially, but I worry you are letting your own poor self-image hurt you. This is all. I just don't believe he's talking about me. That he's made this fantasy version of me in his head. If we did ever get together, he discovers I'm not all those things. How angry is he going to be? If he has a crush on you, he probably will be sympathetic to your issues. Not everyone is sympathetic, and so you may want to get to know him better, but I wouldn't avoid getting to know him specifically because you worry that he won't be sympathetic to your struggles. I think you probably should be more sympathetic to yourself. It makes sense that someone with a crush on you would describe you in more favorable terms that you describe yourself, considering you seem to be struggling with self-confidence. Anyways, I don't know if this is good advice, but I don't think your worries that you aren't gorgeous or courageous enough should be the reasons to distance yourself from someone. Thank you so much. So far he's incredibly sympathetic. He's always telling me it's okay, how it's my anxiety talking when I get anxious, about anything, not just us. He said he had a long think and he accepts he can't be there 24/7, but he'd do his absolute best for me. I did laugh out loud when he said that because I don't need him on call or anything. He tells me I'm doing a really good job. I, 26M, cannot stand my girlfriend, 23F, when she's drunk. We have been together for 1 year. She is a sweet girl when sober but turns into a monster when drunk. What should I do? I have been with my girlfriend for a year now and we get along great most of the time. She is normally super sweet and affectionate and we have no problems. She knows how to dress, has a great job, and is normally very professional. We both like to go out on the weekends and get a few beers and something good to eat, but about one weekend a month she gets way too drunk and we either fight or I have to play babysitter. This usually occurs when we go out with a large group of people, for a wedding/Halloween party/etc. When it is just her and I, we have no problems. When she is around a large group of people, she seems to get caught up in the moment and orders drinks extremely fast and goes from 0 to 100 really quick. When she gets this drunk, she will fight with me over the smallest things. She gets extremely insecure and will get upset if I walk away from her. She accuses me of not being affectionate enough and looking at other girls when she's like this. She has said some very mean/hurtful things when drunk that she doesn't remember in the morning. One night she called me a piece of s/ for walking away from her, and another night she told me my uncle was a piece of s/ for telling her she was cut off. He said it to her in a joking manner, by the way. but she took it seriously. She will bring up my ex-girlfriend sometimes when she's this drunk and tell me I'm still in love with her. She has done this several times and I'm not sure where this comes from. I broke up with my ex for a reason and have no contact with her whatsoever, nor do I want to. She will get loud and the smallest of things will upset her. She will cause a scene in front of others and not remember it in the morning and be extremely embarrassed. When she wakes up in the morning she seems like she doesn't even remember the things she did, and when I bring them up to her she will tell me to stop and that it's embarrassing her. We were at a Halloween party over the weekend and she got extremely intoxicated and was very embarrassing. She was crying and trying to pick a fight with me and I wouldn't have it. I talked to one of her close friends from college that was at the Halloween party with us and she straight up said to me she should not drink heavily. She can't handle it. She's been this way her whole life. I swear her body doesn't metabolize alcohol like a normal person. My family loves this girl, but they never get to see this side of her. When she is around my family she is usually super sweet, respectful, appreciative, etc. My mom is constantly complimenting me on my catch and how about today I fucked up she is and how much she likes her. I had a very high level of attraction for this girl, but these drunken disasters have slowly caused me to start seeing her in a different light and I hate it. I want to stay with her, but if she cannot get this under control I feel I should break up with her. I do not want to deal with this for the rest of my life. What should I do? Too long didn't read. My girlfriend is a sweet and loving girl when sober, but likes to start fights and drama when she's drunk and rarely remembers it in the morning.